Hey guys, it's Chef Kiki from Rover.com, and today we're going to be making a very special treat, birthday cake for dogs. For the cake, we'll start with some all-purpose flour and some oat flour. You can make your own oat flour by pulverizing rolled oats in your food processor. Next, we'll be adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder so our cake will rise up. Okay, we're going to whip together the dry ingredients to eliminate any lumps and to make sure the baking soda is distributed evenly. For the wet ingredients, we'll start by adding fat-free yogurt, a can of pumpkin puree, and 2 eggs. For the wet ingredients, we'll start by adding the fat-free yogurt. Next, we'll mix in a can of pumpkin puree and 2 eggs. Lastly, we'll add coconut oil and a little milk. What do you think, Olive? Okay, we're going to pour our batter out into a parchment-lined quarter sheet. This way we can custom cut whatever size cakes we want. Because the batter is a little thick, we want to take our time smoothing out the top so we'll have even layers to work with. Et voila! I may have stabbed this cake a couple of times to make sure it was cooked all the way through, but nobody's going to notice once the cake is finished. Let's use a cutting board to flip out our finished cake. We'll just peel off the parchment paper. So satisfying. Let's cut each piece in half so we can have more layers for frosting. When you run out of cake to cut, it's perfectly acceptable to smoosh a couple pieces together to make sort of a Franken layer, maybe 2. We'll just put those in the middle of the cake for stability. Now we're ready to make our delicious peanut butter frosting. Let's get into it! First, we'll whip up our fat-free cream cheese. Once it gets a little fluffy, we'll mix in half a cup of peanut butter and a splash of vanilla to get that amazing smell. We're using a little tapioca starch to firm up our frosting, but you could also use cornstarch or just skip it if you're not going to do the piping. Lastly, we're going to whip in a little fat-free yogurt to get that perfect consistency we want for the piping bag. You can adjust this to exactly your preference. Okay, let's divide our layers very carefully. That is a moist cake. Let's spackle on some frosting to hold our layers together. Not bad, not bad. Don't go for perfection here. We just want to glue everything together, and we're going to use whatever extra frosting that scooshes out of between the layers to seal in the crumbs on the outside. Chill your cakes for about an hour so they hold together well. Are you ready to pipe? Let's go. What we're doing to start is just piping little flowers around the base. This is the best way to cover a cake quickly and hide any gaps in the cake. Now that you've filled in your base and got some practice in, your roses should be much easier to pipe. This is where the magic happens. Don't worry about going for perfection here. This is a handmade delicacy. You can fill in any holes you see with an extra dollop of frosting. Ta-da! Happy pretend birthday, Olive! Tune in next time for chicken pot pie treats for dogs.